Imagine waking up 1 week from today and not even recognizing the person staring back at you in the mirror. Not because you've changed your haircut, bought new clothes, or altered your style, but because your energy, your confidence, your drive, and your mindset have transformed so dramatically that you feel like a completely new version of yourself. What if I told you that in just 7 days you could plant the seeds of a transformation so powerful that the world would stop and take notice? The people around you, friends, family, colleagues, would look at you and say, "What happened to you?" Not out of confusion, but out of sheer amazement. That's the power of deciding to become unrecognizable. And the truth is, it begins the moment you stop accepting your current reality and decide you are meant for more. This journey is not about superficial changes. It's not about faking confidence or pretending to have it all together. It's about taking your pain, your frustrations, and your untapped potential and using them as fuel to become a stronger, sharper, more disciplined, and more unstoppable version of yourself. Most people wait years to change their lives because they believe transformation requires time. But what they don't realize is that change is instant the moment you decide you've had enough of the old version of you. A single decision can ignite a fire within you that grows day by day until you're completely unrecognizable. The reason so many people remain stuck is simple. They underestimate what they can accomplish in a week. They tell themselves they'll start next month or next year because a week seems too short to make a difference. But a week is powerful. A week is enough to rewire your habits. A week is enough to shock your system and prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you've ever believed. In 7 days, you can shift from being someone who drifts through life to someone who takes control, someone who refuses to be ordinary. Becoming unrecognizable doesn't mean changing for others. It means evolving for yourself. It's about shedding the layers of doubt, fear, laziness, and excuses that have held you back. It's about creating momentum that doesn't just last a week, but sets the foundation for a lifetime of growth. This is your wake-up call. If you've been waiting for the right time to change, this is it. The clock is ticking. Every day you spend living as a watered-down version of yourself is a day wasted. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to save you. You are the only one who can make this happen. The first step to becoming unrecognizable is a mindset shift. For the next 7 days, you have to believe that every action you take matters. Every choice, no matter how small, will either push you closer to your transformation or pull you further away. When you wake up, ask yourself, what would the best version of me do today? Would that version of you hit snooze, scroll through your phone, and waste the morning? Or would that version get out of bed, take charge of the day, and set a tone of excellence? You already know the answer. Every day is a test, and the version of you that wins these small battles is the version that becomes unrecognizable. Let's be clear, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up for yourself in ways you've never done before. If you've been lazy, this is the week you shock yourself with discipline. If you've been negative, this is the week you train your mind to see possibilities instead of problems. If you've been stuck in the past, this is the week you let go and start fresh. Transformation doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you decide to take massive action, even when it feels uncomfortable. You have to ask yourself, what's stopping me? Is it fear? Fear of failure? Fear of judgment? Or maybe it's just the comfort of staying the same. But here's the harsh truth. Comfort is killing you. The person you are today will not get you the life you want. To create something extraordinary, you must become extraordinary. That means pushing yourself when you don't feel like it, saying no to distractions, and showing up every single day with relentless energy. This week, I want you to live with intention. Don't just go through the motions. Don't waste your time doing things that don't serve you. Every minute counts. Instead of mindlessly scrolling on your phone, spend that time reading something that sharpens your mind. Instead of staying in bed, get up and move your body. Work on your health, your fitness, your habits. If you can discipline yourself in one area, that discipline will bleed into every part of your life. And let me tell you something powerful. Transformation is addictive. The moment you start seeing even small changes, waking up earlier, feeling stronger, thinking clearer, you'll want more. You'll realize that the old version of you, the one filled with excuses and procrastination, was just a shadow of your true self. The fire you need to change your life is already inside you. All you have to do is feed it. So, as we start this journey, remember this. Becoming unrecognizable is not about proving anything to others. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of so much more than you've been giving. This is your moment. This is your week. Decide right now that 7 days from now, you will not just look different, you will feel different, you will think differently, you will carry yourself with a power and confidence that will make people stop and say, who is this person? That's the energy we're building starting now. Discipline is the daily con. Tracked you sign with the future version of yourself, and during this 7-day charge, you're going to enforce that contract like your life depends on it, because in a very real way it does. Everything you say you want, confidence, health, money, impact, respect, sits on the far side of structured, repeatable effort, and the reason most people never cross that line isn't lack of talent, but lack of daily enforcement. For the next week, you're not trying to be disciplined, you're disciplined, period. When the alarm hits, when cravings hit, when excuses creep in, the decision is already made. You act in alignment with the upgraded identity you committed to on day 0. That single pre-decision removes argument, reduces emotional drag, and frees energy for execution. Think of discipline as automation for greatness. Once installed, it runs your day before doubt can hijack it. Your first mission is to establish non-negotiable daily standards, tiny, clear, measurable actions that define whether you showed up as the rising version of you. 5 is plenty. Even 3 done ruthlessly will shift your life. Example: fixed wake time, no snooze. Minimum movement block, body must sweat or at least elevate heart rate. Focused work, sprint on your number 1 priority before reactive noise, nutrient clean fueling window, and evening reflection reset. Notice these are behaviors, not results. You can't control whether the scale drops 2 kilos by Thursday, but you can control whether you hit your movement block every sunrise. You can't force viral views in 48 hours, but you can guarantee a deep, undistracted creation sprint daily. Behavior control equals confidence. Confidence equals momentum. Momentum equals transformation. Mornings decide the tone of the war. When you open your eyes, the old you will bargain 5 more minutes. That is the first battle each day, and victory there gives you psychological leverage over every other decision. Stand up on the first cue, flood your system with water, move immediately, jumping jacks, squats, a brisk walk, shadow boxing, anything that snaps the body out of sleep inertia. Motion changes emotion. Follow movement with a short mental prime. Breathe. Visualize the upgraded you operating through today's biggest challenge with composure and intensity. Then speak one intentional line that anchors identity. I execute my plan no matter how I feel. This 2 to 5 minute sequence builds more momentum than an hour of half-awake scrolling ever will. Guard your golden hour, the first uninterrupted work block of the day, like a vault. No notifications, no inbox surfing, no reactive conversations. Dive straight into the task with the highest future return. Script writing, editing, design, sales calls, study, whatever drives the life you're building. Psychology, research, and lived experience agree. Attention quality is freshest early, wasted on noise, and you're pushing boulders uphill all afternoon. A single deep hour done 7 days in a row can advance you further than scattered effort across a month. Treat that hour as sacred training for the discipline muscle you're forging this week. Manage energy, not just time. People say, I worked 8 hours, but how many were effective? Split your day into performance blocks: deep creation, full focus, execution reps, lighter tasks, refinement, outreach, and recovery resets, brief intentional recharge, walk, breathing, quick protein, water. Rotate them consciously. When your attention dulls, don't mindlessly drift to distractions. Take a structured reset and return. This preserves intensity and prevents burnout. Gimmicks. Spirals that ruin tomorrow's discipline. Track everything visibly: a wall calendar, notebook grid, whiteboard, or digital tracker, any scoreboard you see throughout the day. Create rows for your non-negotiables and mark a bold strike each time you complete one. Humans are wired to respond to progress cues. Blank squares sting, streaks motivate. Say the standard out loud when you mark it. Wake block done. Focus block done. This micro ritual reinforces identity through repetition and physical confirmation. By day 4, you'll crave the mark. By day 7, you'll defend the streak like territory. Eliminate friction to execution and add friction to distraction. Put your phone across the room at night so standing up breaks snooze loops. Preset workout clothes where you'll trip over them. Lay out water, supplements, and morning reading before bed. Log out of distracting apps. Require a password so just checking becomes annoying. Use website blockers during your golden hour. Put a sticky note on your screen. Does this action build the 7-day upgrade? Environmental engineering beats willpower. Make the right behavior easy. Make escape routes annoying. Replace plan hoarding with action reps. A common trap: you map the perfect routine, color code your schedule, research programs, then stall. Motion feels like progress but produces none. Use a rapid launch trigger. Count down from 5 and start the rep. Write the first sentence, do the first push-up, record the first line. Once you begin, inertia flips direction and continuing becomes easier than quitting. Repeat this mini launch dozens of times this week. Each start trains a faster transition from intention to execution. Escalating micro progress keeps discipline exciting. On day 1, maybe your movement standard is 10 push-ups plus a 10-minute walk. On day 2, make it 12 push-ups. Day 3, add a short plank. These are tiny upgrades, but the message to your brain is massive. We grow daily. Apply the same to learning. Read 5 pages today, 6 tomorrow. To creation, write 250 words today, 300 tomorrow. To recovery, move bedtime 5 minutes earlier each night until sleep is dialed. Incremental load teaches your nervous system that expansion is normal and expected. Install pre-commitment rules to handle predictable weak points. If I crave junk after dinner, I drink a tall glass of water and wait 10 minutes. If I miss my scheduled workout window, I must complete a penalty circuit before bed, 20 burpees, 20 squats, 20 mountain climbers. If I scroll social media outside the designated windows, I reset the timer and add 5 minutes of reading to tonight's reflection. Pre-written responses remove debate and convert slips into growth reps. Accountability amplifies discipline. Tell one trusted person or your camera or your journal exactly what you'll do each day of this 7-day sprint. Report back nightly. Public commitments, even small private publics like a friend or an online comment, raise follow-through rates dramatically because your brain links behavior to self-image. If no partner is available, record a 30-second daily accountability clip and rewatch it each morning. Seeing yesterday's committed self staring back at you generates pressure to honor the promise. Protect sleep like a performance variable, not an afterthought. Nearly every failed discipline streak traces back to exhaustion. Set a shutdown alarm 30 to 60 minutes before target sleep. Signal work is done, lights dim, devices distance, mind unloads. Jot tomorrow's top 3 actions so your brain doesn't loop them in bed. Consistent rest stabilizes mood, improves decision power, and turbocharges willpower. Exactly what you need to enforce standards when motivation dips midweek. Evenings are your recalibration lab. Ask, what did I hit? Where did I slip? What triggered the slip? What adjustment prevents repeat tomorrow? Keep it fast. 3 minutes in a notebook is enough. End with one win you're proud of and one upgrade for the next day. This reflective loop turns experience into strategy, so each new sunrise begins smarter than the last. You will feel resistance, muscles ache, cravings bark, distractions sparkle, and the voice of the old identity will whisper, one miss won't matter. That's the trap that kept you stuck. One miss becomes 2, 2 becomes a slide, and the week dissolves. When resistance hits, shrink the target, but don't break the chain. Can't do a full workout. Do a 5-minute sweat burst. Can't produce an hour of deep work. Give 15 brutal, undistracted minutes. Reduced volume beats 0 reps because it preserves identity. I still show up. By the end of this concentrated week, you will have stacked dozens of kept promises, logged visible proof, hardened morning resolve, cleaned your energy leaks, and trained rapid re-entry after setbacks. That accumulation is why people will say you look, sound, and move differently. Discipline leaves a physical signature: clearer eyes, sharper posture, calmer tone, and an energetic one. Decisive presence, directed focus, earned confidence. More important than what others notice is what you feel. A shift from hoping to knowing you can command your behavior. Once you taste that control, you'll never again believe the lie that change takes forever. It takes decisions enforced daily. It takes standards honored when no one's watching. It takes one disciplined week to expose the power that's been sleeping inside you. Keep pressing. Tomorrow's you is already watching. Becoming unrecognizable in a week is not just about action. It's about rewiring your identity. You cannot build a new life with the same old mindset. You have to let go of the version of you that settles for less, the version of you that doubts, complains, and procrastinates. This is about shedding old skin. Think about a snake. It can't grow until it sheds its skin. You can't grow until you shed the habits, beliefs, and mental limitations that have been holding you back, and this transformation starts in your mind. Your mind is the command center of your life. Every action you take, every decision you make, every result you get, it all starts with your thoughts. If your mind is filled with doubt and negativity, no amount of external change will stick. That's why this week you must become ruthless about your mental diet. Stop feeding your mind garbage. Stop consuming negativity. Stop surrounding yourself with people who drag you down. Stop telling yourself that you're not good enough. The person you want to become has no room for that energy. Instead, you have to start speaking life into yourself. Every morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are becoming. Say it even if you don't believe it yet. I am focused. I am powerful. I am disciplined. I am unstoppable. These are not just words. They are seeds. If you plant these seeds daily, they will grow into confidence, belief, and action. And once you truly believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. Changing your identity means changing how you see yourself. Most people fail to change because they're trying to act like someone they don't believe they are. They tell themselves, I'm not the type of person who wakes up early, or I'm not the type of person who can stick to a routine. But here's the secret, you become the type of person by doing the actions first. If you want to be someone disciplined, start eating disciplined. If you want to be someone healthy, start eating like a healthy person. If you want to be someone confident, start speaking and moving like someone confident. Your identity is shaped by repeated actions, not the other way around. This week, I challenge you to live as if you are already that unrecognizable version of yourself. When you're faced with a choice, whether to be lazy or to push through, whether to complain or to find a solution, whether to quit or to keep going, ask yourself, what would my future self do? Then do exactly that. Act as if you're already the person you want to become, and you'll soon realize that you're no longer pretending. Another key part of your mental transformation is cutting out negativity. You cannot evolve while you're drowning in toxic energy. That means avoiding gossip, arguments, and anything that drains your focus. It also means letting go of the stories you've been telling yourself about why you can't change. Maybe you've told yourself you're too old, too young, too busy, or too tired. Maybe you've convinced yourself that success is for other people, not for you. But these are just lies your mind tells you to keep you comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of growth. You must also learn to embrace discomfort. Every time you feel resistance, every time your mind says, this is hard, I don't want to do it, you have to push through. That resistance is a sign that you're growing. The people who become unrecognizable are not the ones who avoid discomfort, but the ones who run toward it. They know that growth lives outside the comfort zone. For the next 7 days, whenever you feel like quitting, remind yourself, this pain is temporary, but the pride of transformation will last forever. Your mind will try to trick you this week. It will tell you to skip a workout. It will tell you that one day of laziness won't matter. It will try to pull you back to the old version of yourself because that's what's familiar. But you can't let it win. Every time you feel that urge to fall back, remind yourself of why you started. Visualize the unrecognizable version of you, the version with confidence, strength, and purpose, and let that vision pull you forward. This is not just about 7 days. These 7 days are the launch pad for a new identity. Once you get a taste of your own potential, you'll never want to go back. The old version of you will feel like a stranger. And when people look at you and say, you've changed, you'll smile because you know that's exactly the point. The fastest way to become unrecognizable is to rebuild your habits from the ground up. Your life today is the sum of your habits. If you want to change your life, you must change what you do daily. Success doesn't come from massive, random bursts of effort. It comes from small, consistent actions repeated over time. This week, I want you to focus on creating habits that build energy, clarity, and momentum. The first habit is mastering your morning. Start your day with intention, not distraction. The moment you wake up, resist the urge to grab your phone. Don't drown your mind in other people's opinions, drama, and noise. Instead, take those first moments for yourself. Drink water to rehydrate your body. Move your body, even if it's just a few stretches or push-ups. This wakes up your system and sets the tone for discipline. Then spend a few minutes feeding your mind. Read something inspiring, listen to something empowering, or visualize your goals. If you start your day like this, you'll feel a level of clarity and focus you've never felt before. The second habit is building physical energy. Your body is your foundation. If your body is tired and sluggish, your mind will be too. You don't need to spend hours in the gym, but you do need to move every single day. Even a 20-minute workout can change how you feel. Push yourself, sweat, challenge your limits. The energy you generate from taking care of your body will spill over into every area of your life. The third habit is controlling your fuel. What you eat and drink directly affects your energy and mood. If you constantly eat junk, your body will feel heavy, slow, and foggy. But when you fuel yourself with clean, energizing foods, you'll feel sharper and more alive. This week, commit to eating foods that nourish you. More water, more vegetables, more protein, less processed trash. This isn't just about looking better, it's about feeling unstoppable. The fourth habit is eliminating time-wasting distractions. Think about how much time you spend scrolling aimlessly, watching things that don't matter, or talking about problems instead of solving them. If you want to be unrecognizable, you must value your time like it's gold. This week, track where your time goes. Cut out the activities that drain you and replace them with things that build you. Read, learn, create, or work on your goals. Every hour you waste is an hour you can never get back. Another powerful habit is reflection. Each night, take a few minutes to ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where can I improve tomorrow? When you reflect, you grow. You become intentional about your actions instead of letting life just happen to you. Over time, this simple habit will sharpen your focus and accelerate your progress. Building new habits is not easy, especially at first. Your mind will resist because it craves the comfort of old routines. But if you push through the first few days, something magical happens. You start to feel proud of yourself. You stop. RT to see progress, and that progress fuels motivation. It becomes addictive. Suddenly, you no longer want to go back to your old habits because the new ones make you feel alive. Becoming unrecognizable is about stacking these habits day after day until they transform your identity. The people who knew the old you will be shocked because they'll see someone with energy, focus, and determination they've never seen before. But this is only the beginning. Habits create the momentum that turns a good week into a good month, a good year, and ultimately, a good life. The final step in becoming unrecognizable in a week is building unstoppable momentum. Momentum is when your progress starts feeding itself, when every action you take makes the next one easier. It's like pushing a heavy boulder. At first it's hard to move, but once it starts rolling, it becomes almost impossible to stop. This week is about creating that kind of momentum for your life. The first key to momentum is consistency. Don't focus on doing everything perfectly. Focus on showing up every single day. Momentum doesn't care about perfection, it cares about progress. If you said you'd wake up early, do it. If you said you'd work out, do it. If you said you'd spend an hour on your goals, do it. The more you keep promises to yourself, the more you trust yourself. And that self-trust is where confidence is born. The second key is intensity. If you want to stand out, you can't give life a half-hearted effort. You have to show up with energy and passion, even when you don't feel like it. Give 100% to whatever you do. Push yourself in your workouts. Be fully present in your work. Be intentional in your habits. The world is full of people who give just enough to get by. Be the one who gives more than anyone expects. That's how you become unrecognizable. The third key is focus. Stop scattering your energy in 1,000 directions. Pick a few key areas to dominate: your health, your mindset, your goals, and pour everything into them this week. Eliminate distractions. Say no to things that don't align with your vision. Focus is a superpower in a world full of noise, and if you can master it for just 7 days, you will accomplish more than most people do in months. Momentum also requires resilience. You will face obstacles this week. You'll have moments when you want to quit, when you feel tired, when things don't go as planned. But remember, this is where transformation happens. It's easy to keep going when everything is smooth. The true test is whether you keep going when it's hard. Push through the resistance. Keep moving forward, even if it's just one step at a time. The person who refuses to quit becomes unstoppable. Finally, momentum is built by celebrating your progress. Each night, remind yourself of what you've done. Reflect on the changes you've made, the habits you've built, and the discipline you've shown. Give yourself credit, because most people never take the first step. You're doing what others only talk about, and the more you acknowledge your progress, the more motivated you'll be to keep going. At the end of these 7 days, you will look back and realize something powerful. You are not the same person you were when you started. Your energy will be different. Your mindset will be sharper. Your habits will be stronger. People around you will notice. They'll see the fire in your eyes, the confidence in your voice, the way you carry yourself. You will have become unrecognizable. But this is just the beginning. The point of this challenge is not to transform for only 1 week and then stop. The point is to show yourself what's possible. If you can change this much in a week, imagine what you can do in a month, in 6 months, in a year. The journey never ends. There's always a next level, and now you know you have the power to reach it. So I ask you, are you ready to shock the world? Are you ready to shock yourself? The next 7 days are yours to own. You can stay the same, or you can rise up and become someone even you wouldn't recognize. The choice is yours. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Start now. 7 days from today, when you look in the mirror, you won't just see a reflection, you'll see proof that you are capable of anything